Jack Elam saw a lot of men pretend to be tough, but when Henry Fonda walked in, nobody had to pretend. Jack Elam wasn't built like a Hollywood star. He didn't have the classic looks, didn't have the leading roles. What he had was presence. A crooked eye from a childhood accident, a face that casting directors couldn't ignore, and a life shaped by hardship, war, and survival. Before acting, he served as a Navy intelligence officer in World War II. He had already seen more reality than most actors ever would. So when Elam entered Hollywood, he didn't chase fame. He just worked. And slowly, he became unforgettable. By the 1950s and 60s, he was everywhere. Westerns, crime dramas, television. Always the outlaw, the drifter, the unpredictable man in the shadows. And that's when he met Henry Fonda. Fonda was already a giant in the industry, known for playing men of integrity, strength, and quiet authority. Elam remembered the first thing that struck him wasn't fame. It was control. He didn't raise his voice, Elam once said. But you felt him the moment he stepped in. There was no need for introductions. No need for attention. Fonda owned the room without asking for it. But behind that calm image, Elam noticed something most people didn't. Complexity. People thought he was always serious, Elam said. But there was more there, if you paid attention. Fonda could be distant, focused, even intimidating, especially to actors still trying to prove themselves. But he wasn't cruel. He was precise. If you came unprepared, he wouldn't argue. He'd just shut down. And somehow, that silence said everything. For Elam, that wasn't arrogance. That was respect for the craft. Because to Fonda, acting wasn't about ego. It was about doing the job right. And that stayed with him. Elam built his entire career on reliability, showing up, knowing his role, delivering every time. Watching Fonda only reinforced that mindset. But what surprised him most were the quiet moments. No spotlight, no speeches, just Fonda leaning over between takes, offering a simple piece of advice. Short, direct, meaningful. He wasn't the type to make a big gesture, Elam said. But what he told you, you remembered. For years, Elam never spoke publicly about Fonda. Not because there was nothing to say, but because in those days, actors didn't talk. They worked. They learned. And they moved on. It wasn't until later in life that Elam finally broke that silence. I didn't always agree with him, he admitted. And I didn't always understand him. Then came the truth. But I respected him. And coming from a man like Jack Elam, that meant more than praise. Because Elam didn't believe in myths. He believed in what he saw. And what he saw in Henry Fonda wasn't just a legend. It was a man who cared deeply about the work. In the end, that's what stayed with him. Not the fame. Not the reputation. Just the standard Fonda set. Without ever needing to say it out loud.